Okay, now we are going to check out the rest of my Austrian straight pull collection. These are M95 30s, 31s, and 31A modifications. The reason I was confused is there is another modification called the Steyr M95/24, which was a conversion to 8mm. It is also known as the M95M. I do have one of those, but that's what kind of confused me. It was 1930 that the Austrians converted them, and that is why it's called the M95/30. The M95/31 is the Hungarian conversion, and the reason it is designated like that is because the Austrian conversion will have an S stamped on the barrel. The Hungarian conversion will have an H stamped on the barrel. And also the M31A is the, well, at the time it's Bulgaria, converted the rifles into carbines. So that is given 31A as a designation. Okay, so getting the designation straight. At the top we have the full-size rifle, which is an M95/30 converted by the Austrian. Below it, the second gun is an M95/30 carbine conversion. The third one is also an M95/30 conversion. The fourth gun is a M31 conversion, and because that has an H on a receiver, and these two lower ones are the M31A conversions, or M95/31A conversions, which we'll go over, and I'll explain why our rifles, they were full-length rifles and they were later shortened to a carbine version gun. Okay, there's two designations in models. There's a rifle, there's a Stutzer, which is a short rifle, and then there's the carbine. So according to what basic information I found, the difference between a Stutzer and a carbine was cavalry carbines did not have a bayonet lug on them and had a 19-inch barrel, where a Stutzer had a bayonet lug and had a 20-inch barrel. But all of these guns have been reworked from one configuration to the other, converted to 8x56. But I'm just going to check the barrels out, and if you notice, some of these have a front sight soldered onto the barrel, and some of these have the front sight on a barrel band. Okay, well, let's just check the barrel lengths roughly. I'm going to go from the edge of the receiver to the end of the barrel and see what I get starting at the top. That's 19 inches. 19 inches. 19 inches. And then the cut down guns are at 19 inches. Okay, which is none, I don't have one that is a 20-inch length. Okay, now somebody did mention something about the distance between the two barrel bands. And this one at the top here, the distance between the barrel bands is 5 inches. But every other one here, it's 7 inches in distance, approximately. So this one here, at least the stock or whatever, is a little bit different, which someone did mention in the comments. And I will, in detail, go over all these different weapons, but I'm just basically getting the information. I never did a very in-depth study on these, talking about barrel lengths type of sights, and I was mistaken on the sights. I believe these sights are all in the Austrian stride or strit, which is basically a yard. So when it's 500 or 5, it's 500 yards or 378 meters. Okay, the sights are not in meters. I was mistaken. Okay, so when you see a 5, it's basically 378 meters, and also the 3s would bring that down to 300 yards. Okay. Alright, so that's an overview of the current collection I have of M95, 30s, 31s, and 31As. I did have several other guns, and there may be older videos out there of me with them, but you know, I can't keep them all. There were several guns that I got rid of, either because of the condition, and I wanted to narrow down the collection, which I still have a few of them. And basically the ones with the interesting markings I kept, and the ones that shot well, okay, I also kept. So what I intend to do is we will do a look at each one, the stampings, the markings, and that. And also, now would be a good time to get a membership, because later on today I'm going down. The weather's getting nicer. I can get out and do some reloading. I'm going to do the 8x50, give that a shot, and also go back and my pet load for the 8x56. So I may go out on the range and be shooting these here within a month or so. But we're going to work on that. And as usual, with the current reloading crisis, it is difficult to get components, powder, and I guess the PPU bullets right now, the Spire Point 208 grain bullets, like for these, are sold out. And brass also has gone up significantly. So these are getting well, they always were kind of expensive to shoot. The old surplus ammo was like $1 a round on the clips, and that stuff was made in the 30s. And PPU does make a modern load for this, and soft point ammo, so it is available. I don't know what the current price was. You know, 5-6 years ago, before all this nonsense, PPU stuff was about $20-$25 a box. Now I guess even a 6.5 Carcano is $1.50 a round when you can find it in stock that PPU puts out. So everything's gone up, guys, unfortunately. Alright, so stay tuned. Going to have a lot of content on this section of my collection because there's numerous guns, and we'll just go over them and hopefully get out and shoot them. Alright, so hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.